got the best of my love.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
You got the best of my love.
You will. Welcome to the podcast. My name's Dylan and I'm a silly goose.
My name is Aston and I rock. Per usual.
Yeah, and you're listening to Can't Get You Out of My Head, the podcast dedicated to all the
songs we can't
all the
get out of our
songs,
heads.
all the stuffs.
All the musics. Hey Dylan.
Hey Aston.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride Month, homosexuals. I'm not a homosexual myself, but still, happy Pride.
Oh really?
I don't identify as a homosexual.
What do you identify as?
What's the joke where it's like, I identify as baggage?
What?
Have you heard that?
No!
Oh god, I've defined it. It's like I identify as a carry-on because I weigh a lot and I'm a lot of baggage or some shit.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah. Anyway, happy Pride Month to all the homosexuals and the bisexuals and the trisexuals and the intersexuals.
And the asexuals.
I just turned into Moira Rose all of a sudden.
Who is that?
Schitt's Creek.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Happy Pride Month to all the homosexuals.
Do you have anything to say to me?
Happy Black Music Month, my love.
Oh, thank you. Reparations. Fucking
Indeed.
pay me. We should definitely we need to set up the thing so that people can pay us for being gay and black.
Do you ever watch Seth Meyers?
I don't.
There's this skit where they do every so often called Jokes Seth Can't Tell. And the whole premise is like, he's like, me being a cisgender white male, there's a lot of jokes that come across my desk that might be inappropriate for me to say. So here's two of our writers. And it's Amber Ruffin and a woman named Jenny. And the whole intro is, I'm black and I'm gay and we're both women. That's just what I thought about. You're black, I'm gay, we're both women. Biological, psychological, it works.
It does.
It works.
It does.
I mean, you think a straight man would wear this shirt? I don't think.
I do like that shit though.
They wouldn't have the sense.
You got the heat wave titties popping out.
I know, it's just like one little nipple off to the side.
Why does it have?
I don't know, just one nipple.
Okay.
It don't make no sense.
Okay.
But,
We happy.
welcome to the podcast, kids.
Welcome. We are going to get started, of course, with songs that are stuck in our heads.
Yes.
Ooh, can I go first this week?
You sure as fuck can. I went first last week.
Awesome. So, in honor of Black Music Month, I'm actually still stuck on Isaac Hayes. So, I always talk about how I am stuck in the 70s. I'm going to let it go. But not today.
The 70s were great.
They're fucking awesome.
Can we just be legit?
Let's
That's
do
the
it.
best era of music.
It's the best era
Like
of music.
80s went grungy and whatever.
80s is great. 80s is great.
alright.
80s got Rick James.
90s was okay. We got the Spice Girls, the emergence of that kind of stuff.
Sure.
2000s.
The
I feel
90s we got.
2010s.
Well, hold on. 90s we got all of Janet Jackson's children. If you
She
think
has children?
Well, if you think about everybody's dance moves, if you think about NSYNC,
Oh,
Backstreet
girl, I thought
Boys,
you meant like a
Britney.
Blue Ivy situation, like Jada's kids was out here doing something.
that child was born like 8 years ago.
Right, in her 50s.
Yeah, like no, that child is like in 5th grade or some shit. But like yeah, no, the 90s is just like all of Janet Jackson's children and Velvet Rope.
Velvet Rope, who's that?
That's her 6th album.
Oh.
Yeah.
What have you done for me lately?
Also 80s. So you know what I'm saying? So there's some great things. The 2010s, you know, there were some great pop things.
Mm-hmm.
But there's everything you love about all of those eras were
Can be traced back to the 70s.
it just can.
I'm sorry, it's the best.
So I was listening to Walk On By, the 12 minute, because that's the only one that I acknowledge.
By Isaac Hayes.
By Isaac Hayes. And I started listening to the whole album, Hot Butter Soul, and I stumbled on Hung Up on My Baby. Hung Up on My Baby is not, I think it's completely instrumental, but it's so fucking funky.
Word.
It's so funky. Isaac also has like an 18-minute track on there where it's like him talking for so long, and then it finally gets into the music, and you're like, God damn! But also, yeah.
It's like, did y'all not cut the mic during? Y'all just in the
Absolutely not.
studio
Y'all just let
talking.
him talk. They were just like, he's got that voice.
It's like, oh wait, we're recording. Let's go.
Like Barry White wasn't on the scene yet, so you just had his velvety voice, and yeah, and it just made me think of how so it's Hung Up on My Baby. That's the song that the Ghetto Boys used and sampled for My Mind Playing Tricks on Me.
Okay.
And so every song that came on this, every song that I listened to on this album, I could immediately trace it to a sample of a hip hop song that we love from the 90s. Like every single one that I was listening to. And so over the weekend, I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna listen to something else. I ended up like, you want to take a break from watching like smutty thrillers.
Culpa.
You know, oh my God.
It's on my list.
And he announced another film, and everyone's like, God damn it.
God damn it. But why?
And so I ended up watching the Stax documentary. So and it's a series. It's about 4 episodes on HBO, and I kind of watched it going in. I really like going into music documentaries blind.
Yes.
But I recognize the logo, so I watch it, and it talks about. It starts off with this white brother and sister that opened up a record store in a black neighborhood in Memphis, and they were recording country songs. It wasn't going anywhere. So then this guy walks in. He's like this black teenager who's like, I want to play music, and he started playing like, he just started jamming on the piano, and they were like, actually, we like what you're doing. Like that sounds really cool. And so I think that's Bobby Jones.
Okay.
I gotta look up the names. But in short, they start recording music, and then it becomes this. So they start recording his music, and then they become the Stax record company to get the music out. They were having a hard time getting it throughout Tennessee, and then they bring in Al Bell, and he's like a radio.
Booker Jones,
thank you. They bring in Al from northern Mississippi as their like radio DJ and their disc jockey. And he's the person that's sending music out. So he was like, well, maybe black folks in Tennessee aren't going to get it, or maybe the radio stations here aren't going to play it, but radio stations in New York are going to play it, Chicago. I'm looking at where everybody has moved to in the Great Migration. Like, where are all the other black people? And so that's how they started getting traction. Stax is also responsible for signing Otis Redding. So a couple of weeks ago, I talked about the Barkays, how they all died in a plane crash, leaving James Alexander, who is Jazzy Faye's father.
Yeah.
So they don't talk about him being Jazzy Faye's father, but he does talk about being one of the 3 surviving members of the Barkays band, and the Barkays had actually backed Otis Redding, and Otis Redding is who passed away with them on the plane crash. It was a very, and they talked about how that on top of like the civil rights movement and afflicted Stax recording for just a short amount of time. And then he was only a producer up until this point. But Isaac Hayes steps up when they start making music again. He's like, actually, do you mind if I sing on the track? And they're like, yeah, go ahead, go for it. So he starts singing, and everybody's like, you had this voice the whole time? And he cuts a track of Walk On By Dionne Warwick. And at this point, I think the radio version is like 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
But again, ironically, in the documentary, they're talking about how and they played the whole 5 minutes. Usually songs are about 2.5, 3 minutes long. But they played the whole 5. And that's what set his career off. And Al got him to got him the gig of scoring Shaft. Now this is where it gets funny because I was like, how dare you not know who Isaac Hayes is because he scored Shaft.
Yeah.
Well, now joke's on me because even though I knew he scored Shaft, I didn't realize that he was the first African American composer to win an Oscar for Best Song. So the Shaft theme,
love that.
So the Shaft theme earned an Oscar in 1972, and they weren't going to let him perform.
Uh-huh.
But he was like, if you don't let him perform, I'm going to tell everybody that the Academy is racist, and you don't want that. And they were like, oh my God, please, right?
And nothing changed.
Oscar So White was only like 6 years ago. But it's so funny how in 1972 they were like, if you don't let him perform, I'm going to tell everybody that they're racist. And they're like, oh, please don't do that.
Oh no, don't expose us.
Right. Only for y'all not to change for another 50 years, but I digress.
Change.
Hello?
Change.
Hello? And so they got it televised, and then that took Stax into major success. And so that is my Black Ass Music Month fact, because I am proud to be from the South and I love me some Southern soul. And they are the record company that coined the term soul music. Because he was like, it's not just R&B. They wanted to recognize, because the Black Power movement was happening at the same time, the civil rights music. He was like, I don't want to call it soul. I don't want to just. It started with the song that one of the R&B groups from the label recorded, and it was called soul something, like soul music or something. And so from then, they just started calling their music soul music. And the whole theory behind it was like, because it's not about connecting, like, just rhythm or blues or just music. It's about connecting to your soul.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was cool, because I'm like, that's one of like my top favorite. So like to know that came, from the town that also, some years later, Best Song was won by a hip hop group from Memphis. And that was 3 6 Mafia. And so who's to say?
Word.
And who's to say 10 years from now, Glorilla will win Best Song at the Oscars to keep the Memphis tradition alive? I just love that.
I mean, as somebody who watches the Oscars every year, specifically for a Best Original Song, there was some songs this past year. It was like a song from the Cheetos movie. What?
Oh.
What? And I repeat, what?
I missed that.
Oh, it was bad.
Oh, I missed it. Because we all knew because I remember What Was I Made For, because Billie Eilish performed it like 3 weeks in a row at 3 different award shows. And then Ken just took up the world by storm because he turned into Marilyn Monroe and wore that pink suit.
I thought that should have won. If we're talking based off of performance alone, he shut the Oscars down. He shut the motherfucking Oscars down. And it's just like, I mean, maybe I'm too old. Maybe it's the Gen Z versus millennial thing. But I'm just like, I don't get Billie Eilish.
I don't necessarily think that she's for me to get, but I really do.
That's the thing. She's not for me to get.
I genuinely like What Was I Made For, though. But I actually connected to that song with or without the movie. Like, I genuinely connected to the song. So, like...
Do you know who sang it better?
I don't care. I know you're going to say, take your shot. I like the way that Billie sings it. I like that she sings it in her... I like that lip quiver. I like it. I like it. You know who I should have said? She will, may she live long. But there was a black woman on TikTok that would just do outrageous covers of songs.
Okay.
And so without hearing it, she just read the lyrics of the song, and she's like, I'm sad again.
Yes.
It's like not even the melody. And I was like, what is she singing?
Billie Eilish, girl.
Oh man.
Sad again.
But that is the song that stuck in my head. It's still Hung Up on My Baby and Walk On By. Those are my two.
Those are good choices.
Yeah.
I mean, Booker T. Jones, how many awards does that man have? Because you said he won an Oscar, but surely he's won other things.
So Isaac Hayes won the Oscar.
Oh, Isaac Hayes.
Isaac Hayes won the Oscar. So that is a very good question. He needed all of them. He needed all of the awards, but I'm actually not sure if he won.
According to Grammy.com, Booker T. Jones has been nominated 7 times and won 3.
Okay.
Best Pop Instrumental Album, The Road from Memphis.
Okay.
He's still alive?
Yeah, he's not that old.
Holy shit. Well, he's in his 70s. He ain't that young.
He ain't that young, but you know. It's really interesting how like ages stop becoming that old. It's like, yeah, it's like they were, like, I don't know, time moves hella fast. So,
Yeah.
like, you know, having an aunt, you know, like she's in her 70s now, and it's crazy because it's like, damn, your hair is gray. And it wasn't always like that.
What?
That's insane. Like, that is insane to me.
I always have to remind myself, just like I'm getting older, but so are other people.
Hello?
Like my little nieces aren't still 12 and 13. They're in their 20s and 30s now.
Wow.
Which is fucking mind blowing. And it's like, oh, you have to get a kid.
I'm a great uncle with this body.
With this. Look at the way it's sitting. That ratio so out of control. That
But-
wasted ass and titties.
What song is this?
Body.
Oh yes, that is exactly what I was referring to. I saw that post. It was like, look at him.
The category is body. Look at the way it's sitting.
Oh,
That
true.
ratio so out of control. Them that waist and ass them titties.
We are Meg stands in this house.
Poetry.
Poetry.
Yeah, that's on my karaoke list. I've been waiting for the day that I go to karaoke and I can do body.
Are you gonna do the choreography?
Oh, yes, yes. And it's like I've even figured out how to navigate words that I'm not supposed to say, and like
Oh, you've been practicing.
how to change them out.
I love that.
Cause y'all ain't gonna get me like that. Y'all ain't gonna get me like that. That ain't the way it goes down.
I know that's right.
Girl.
Let them know. Let them know.
Let's take a quick little break. I'm gonna practice my choreo.
All right, and we will be back momentarily.
Stay tuned, you homosexuals. Pride, a deeper love, pride. You ever heard that song, Aretha Franklin? Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, pride, a deeper love.
Yes, I have.
That's Aretha, baby. We're back. We're back.
So before
Baby,
we
come
jump
back.
to it, just wanted to say Isaac Hayes won 9 awards and 15 nominations, including the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 2020.
Oh, stunning.
Yeah. I do not remember the year he passed away. Let me check that. Because I don't know if he was actually alive to see that award. He died. Yeah, he died in 2008.
Okay.
Yeah, at 65. So I guess he received that posthumously. But
Is it posthumously or posthumously?
You might be right.
I think it's posthumously, but it's also like, is it biopic or biopic?
Listen, that's why every time I see BIPOC, I'm like, are we talking about movies now? And we are back from the break. Thank you so much for listening to Can't Get You Out of My Head. So, what's your song this week?
My pick for the week is a young lady named Jensen McRae.
Mm-hmm.
I discovered her on Instagram, as most people have. She's that's kind of where she if I have my story right, sort of found success in uploading clips of her singing this and just doing original stuff and people really resonating with what she was saying. When we first started this months ago, I played you a clip of her and was like, listen to this tone. This tone is outrageous. And it's so goddamn good.
It is.
And she has that Sarah Bareilles singer-songwriter quality of being able to weave words together and tell a story that even if I've never been in that situation in my life, if I can't relate to it in any way, I still listen to it and I feel the emotion of it. If I may, there is a song called Wolves off of her album that came out 2022.
Okay.
And so I'm just going to read the verses. So it's, I was 15, still in the valley, walking in a parking garage. First time I met a wolf in person, at first I thought it was a dog. I tried to dodge him, he was faster than I'd ever thought he had to be. He smiled and howled in the same moment, it knocked the wind right out of me. I was 19, still fun at parties. He piled me with shot after shot. He assured me he was harmless. Why did I ever trust a fox? I ignored all of my teachings. How I survived I can't believe. I almost let him get his claws in. Still knocks the wind right out of me. Saw a teenage girl on my street, talking tall to one of them. Recognized him in an instant. Heard about him from his friends. Thank God women learn to whisper. But I crave a megaphone. Ah, that line. The wolf said, it's dangerous out here. The wolf said, let me walk you home. And so the entire song is about men disguised as other things. People presenting themselves as less threatening than they actually are in order to lure unsuspecting victims into situations that they don't want to be in. And if I want to listen to something that just sort of brings my anxiety, like my whole energy level down in a good way, it's not like a dampener, but it's just like the way that she writes is soothing. It's very, very soothing. It's very beautiful storytelling. And I mean, she does have some more like up tempo, like she's not a dance pop girl, like everything's very acoustic, piano, guitar, that sort of vibe.
Who would you say she sounds like vocally?
Ooh. I mean, probably Sarah Bareilles. She's got a bit more of a it gives me like Sarah Bareilles and Adele, in the way that Adele has a bit of a deeper tone to her voice, but in Sarah Bareilles in the way that she is, like she doesn't sing in cursive. It's not the blueberries and pineapples. It's like the way that she sings, you understand everything.
It's a very clear tone. When you played it for me, it reminds me, because a lot of people try to mimic Sade.
Yes.
But I think, because like, first of all, you know how I feel about the altos of the world. Shout out to all the altos.
Yeah.
And so I think that Jensen's voice is a very beautiful lower tone.
Yes.
And I think that she delivers her lyrics very, very well.
Ooh, could it be comparable to India?
Maybe.
Because
I
India
can see
has
that too.
lower, like especially on
The lower register.
I am ready for love. Yeah.
I would love to hear her cover that, actually, if she hasn't yet.
Yeah.
I would love to hear her cover that.
Yeah. But I mean, she has a song called "Starting to Get to You." That's all. That's. I mean, it's still in the same emotional vein, but like, you're tough, so what? I've learned to take a punch. You don't break, but I do. I'm starting to get to you. She took your crown, but she can't hurt you now. I will lay my weapons down. I will lay my weapons down. I know you're scared, but you loved me for a second there. Look at what a heart can do. I'm starting to get to you. And so it's just like, without having to be like, you bastard, you broke my heart because of this. It's like the crafting of it all.
So essentially, she's not me.
Oh no, baby, me either. I'm so straightforward with my wordage. It's just like, you did fucking what?
Right.
But no, she's very much a wordsmith.
She is.
And I mean, this comes out on Friday. Next week, she will be releasing the song. I think she decided on the title Massachusetts, which is the clip that I originally heard. And it's just like it's just so cute. And like when people say they're from Massachusetts, I ask what part. When people say, who's your favorite Batman, I think of you and say Christian Bale. What is it?
She says that?
Yeah, that's one of the lyrics. It's like, as long as I live, I'll remember the names of your dogs in your video games, I think. And just very much like, she gives me like breakup girl. If that makes any sense. A lot of her shit's like about heartbreak and the like. And I mean, I'm an empath. So once again, even if I've never been in a situation, I can listen to it and be like, I'll remember those video games too.
Right. I want to ask you something.
Ask me anything.
So, Napalm, or is it Napalm? Sure. So she is the lead singer of Hiatus Coyote.
Okay.
If you're not familiar with them, they are like, you've heard a song by them.
Okay.
One of their more popular songs I know you've heard, but they are a very jazzy band out of Australia.
Okay.
Very jazzy, very soulful, very like unorthodox. They're really fun. Napalm was talking about how she doesn't like to sing about breakup songs because in her world, it's like, once that's done, that's done. I don't want to repeat that energy over and over on stage. You know, I'd rather keep my songs to be, I don't know that she said she'd rather sing about the happy things, but she doesn't want to sing about breakups.
Yeah, why do you want to talk about the same shit over and over?
Right. So I just want to know your thoughts on that, because you have singers who are the breakup girls of our lives, you know. People dead ass felt abandoned by Mary J. Blige when she made Just Fine, which y'all are so fucking weirdos for that. I will never forget.
I mean, did they feel abandoned when she did the one?
What?
Stop looking for, I'm the one. Stop looking for,
If that's the same album, if it's the same album they did. A lot of people were upset with Mary J. Blige because she came out with a happy album. Girl, right? I was like, she said no more drama. She meant it.
She said it in that asymmetrical bob.
Like, what is wrong with y'all?
Crunk up on that fun up in this dancery. Let's get it crunk up.
There is an interview where she talks about, she says dancery because the word was dance soiree, but she couldn't pronounce it. I know they scrubbed that shit off the internet because I can't find it.
He said I can't pronounce it. We just say dancery.
Shit rhymes.
It
and
works.
so she invented a word. So that is another fun fact from Black Music Month. She invented dancery to go in the Webster Dictionary. I don't know if it's in there, but
Kudos to Mary J. Did she get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
She did.
We never talked about
Yeah,
our nominee guesses versus actual inductees.
We talked about our guesses, but we didn't discuss we didn't discuss who actually got inducted.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk about that in music news.
Okay, all right.
Yes, but yeah. So I was just wondering, like, how do you feel about that as a singer and as a listener?
So I actually really like, girl, second shot, go ahead and do it. Kelly is notorious for rewriting songs. She has a song called Piece by Piece that she wrote about her ex-husband when she was pregnant with their second child. And it was just like, piece by piece, you picked me up and you showed me that a father could stay because her father left when she was a child. And so it's a very, so it's a very emotional.
I'm gonna be alright. I'll come back.
And so it's a very emotional song, but post-divorce, she rewrote the final chorus to basically say, piece by piece, I found that I don't need anything but me. I picked myself up.
Because she didn't remarry, right? She just...
It's Secret Affair with Jason Momoa, which I really hope. Ugh. That makes me flush just thinking about it.
Oh my god.
But no, because I mean, girl, imagine having to sing the same song and relive the same thing for 20 plus years.
That's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
But I'm sure at a certain point there comes a numbness to it.
Yeah.
But then also, why not spin the tale a little
Yeah.
bit? Like,
yeah.
This shit happened in my 20s. I'm a grown ass woman now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me talk about how I feel about it
now. Mm-hmm. Like you can still honor the song, but you can also honor that you're in a different place.
Yes.
And if you don't want to go back to that place, then repurpose it.
Yep.
I feel that.
Yep.
And I like that because, like, for me, the reason why I asked because it's like, when I started, I think I talked about this maybe on another episode. I can't really remember. But the way that I got into writing music again was because I needed somewhere to channel like residual anger that had nowhere to go. And it's like, well, like, it's like, obviously I don't want to stay in that place, but if I don't perform it, then does it just sit? Does it just sit on the shelf? Like, it still needs an outlet. And then it still can be that outlet for other people.
Right.
But I do like the idea, like, over time, it's like, okay, once the track is laid down and actually lives on a streaming service, then of course I can, do whatever I want with it later.
Yes.
I like that.
Because the original lyrics were piece by piece he collected me up off the ground where you abandoned things. Piece by piece he filled the holes that you burned in me at 6 years old. Mm-hmm. Original song. Mm-hmm. Rewritten, rewrote, whatever. Piece by piece I collected me up off the ground where you abandoned things. And piece by piece I filled the holes that were burned in me at 6 years old. Mm-hmm. Original song. He never walks away. He never asks for money. He takes care of me. He loves me. Rewritten. I just walk away when they ask for money. I take care of me because I love me.
That's funny as hell, actually.
Ain't
like
it?
when they ask for money, I walk away. You got $5 back.
She said, no, not this mogul. You ain't getting this money. So, I mean, I'm all about weaving a new tale into something old. Mm-hmm. Something that we already know. Because, I mean, yeah. I would actually really love to hear a reboot of Mary J. Just give me like 2024 version of Be Without You.
You know what's so interesting? Now that you put it that way, because like somebody, there is this running joke that when you see Mary J. Blige at events, she looks so bored, like she doesn't want to be there. No. Like some people are just like, well, what if that's just her resting bitch face? And some people are like, no, that bitch don't want to be there. Like
right. I told you about the Strength of a Woman tour.
Remind me.
She was on stage. I mean, it was when I tell you, probably a 6-hour ordeal with Jodeci opening. You had T.I. and Busta and Sierra and Missy and all these. I think Mary J. Blige, the headliner, was on stage for all of 20 minutes at most. And like Real Love would be playing, and she's like, Real Love. Y'all know the song, sing it. And just like walking up and down the stage with the mic out. She did not want to be there.
Maybe that's why, because she's tired of singing sad songs.
Maybe.
Wow. Mary J., we invite you to like interpolate those songs.
Did we crack the code?
Did we crack the code? Wow. Let us know in the comments. Listen to this shit, because we want to know what you think. No, seriously, because now I'm like, maybe that's why she doesn't want to be there, because she doesn't want to sing like, no more. Like,
no more. She said no more.
Maybe she'd just be like, I got no more pain.
No more pain. No more pain.
I don't know about you in your life, but but me.
Everybody in the audience is just like reaching for her. She's like, no more pain. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Like, we not the same.
I'm tired of all this hurting.
I'm done with all this hurt.
Girl, give me a 2024 version where she talks about going to therapy. No more pain.
I'm telling you though, when she came out with Just Fine, people were so
therapy.
Mad. Where she was like, I'm just trying to have fun.
There's a girl that does a Mary J. Blige mix all the time. And that part where she says, there's something about this joint right here. This joint right here, it makes me wanna let it go. I lose my mind every time.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, I think that y'all need to, if y'all aren't going to let Mary J. Blige perform just fine, then y'all don't need to invite her to more events. Because now that I think about it, when I see live clips of her, she's not performing the happy shit. Let her perform the happy shit.
Let her perform the happy shit. But I mean, we also, I don't know, we have boners for nostalgia.
And that's why you are still repeating the same emotional patterns that you have been since you were 14.
Go see the lady.
Go see the lady. Sit on the...
Take this next break to call your therapist.
Please! On Zoom!
Unpack.
Or in person. Yeah.
Unpack. That's not sign language for unpack. We're not getting it. You know what? Hold on. On that note.
Oh, yes. Get him.
I should have started this at the top.
Get him.
We should have started this at the top.
Go, get him.
For the multitude of people who reached out to me via DM, Instagram, the Twitters, the things,
The phone calls.
pigeon mails,
They sent you a message in the bottom.
smoke signals. I need y'all to get off my dick about 5 Goes West. I am so sorry that I misquoted that movie. It's American Tail.
I mean, but it was though.
Bitch, I haven't seen that movie in 30 years.
It's been a long time.
I haven't seen it, and y'all are grown ass adults, and y'all know this.
I mean, if somebody were to quote Land Before Time right now.
All I remember is Littlefoot. Was that
You remember
Littlefoot?
Ducky?
No. Who? I remember the Brave Little Toaster.
Break!
I remember the Brave Little Toaster.
Break!
I remember Rockadoodle.
See, I never watched that one. I've seen the poster and I'm like, what is this?
It's Elvis is a chicken.
Yeah, I never watched that. I never watched it.
I remember a Goofy movie.
That came out after.
Stand out among the crowd.
Did you ever watch Cats Don't Dance?
What is it?
Cats Don't Dance?
No, but I did watch Cats.
I have not watched Cats.
It's the reason the pandemic happened.
Everyone hates Cats. Everyone hates every version of Cats. Except, I don't know if you saw, but somebody reimagined Cats.
Oh, the Jellicle Ball!
I'm really...
Baby,
Yeah.
that's the only,
And when I watched it, I was like, when I hear Cats, that's what I imagine is the ballroom scene.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, maybe this is how it was supposed to be this whole time.
no, I've seen Cats twice live. It is a garbage show. It has a place in my heart because it's the first piece of theater I ever saw. I was like 7, I think, and I totally cried during Memory. But a 2.5 hour theater show about cats singing songs about why they deserve to die.
Is that what it's about?
What the fuck? Yes, at the end of it, old Deuteronomy chooses one cat to go to the Heaviside lair, which is heaven. They choose a cat to die at the end.
Why? What is the what?
And they're all just singing songs and dancing about why they deserve to die.
The way I had never... remember how I told you that we used to watch the taped MJ tapes?
Yeah.
I think there was one. I don't think it was recorded, but I remember when I was like, all right, y'all, it's time to go to sleep. We're gonna stop watching these tapes.
Yeah.
And I remember it was I guess some public access channel playing.
Yep, PBS. They used to run that shit all the time.
And it got to the memory part, and I just it just unlocked a memory because I was like, what is this? I'm like, maybe I'll finish this someday. But my aunt was just rolling her eyes the whole time. She was like, turn this mess off. And that's even when they dropped the movie with the Jason Derulo cat.
Seems to beat
All
a fatalistic warning.
All I remember is Jericho cats meet once a year. That's all.
So in the movie, they made up the Taylor Swift cat character, the one that sprinkles the catnip, and they all have an orgy because of it.
All right.
Let's take a break. We'll be back with some music news.
Oh, what?
Touch me. It gives that song new meaning.
his girl.
Come on, one nipple.
Uninip.
Uninip.
Uni boobs.
So during the break, I was playing Hung Up on My Baby.
And I was playing Cats.
I did discover that Hung Up on My Baby is not on Hot Butter Soul, but is on his sophomore album, Three Tough Guys. So, Apple does that thing where they do like the top 6 tracks and they're like, hey guys, listen to this song. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm driving. I'm not going to look down at my phone and see what it says.
Right.
So should you say that Aston didn't do her research, you're only half right. I did, just late.
Okay, they're going to dox you for that, girl.
Oh my God, you won't come where I live. I live off Bankhead. Don't do that.
We both live at Bankhead. You don't come here for that.
You don't want to do that.
You don't.
Just stay to the rivers and the 285. That
Did you hear me, bitch? Don't do it.
Don't do it.
The K-Lake 47. Don't do it.
Music news.
Let's get into it. So, can I just start off with the?
Should do a jingle for the music news portion.
We should. So before we rag on our favorite rag doll, because it's coming. There's a few rag dolls this week. There's a few rag dolls this week. But
I loved that.
I want to talk about that baggy suit wearing receded hairline fucking mayor of ours. So, if y'all are the Twitter darlings of the world, the Twitter darling of the world, the people who get all of their news from social media, this one's for you. Actually, I'm one of you. And
Twitter doesn't exist anymore, silly Aston.
Oh, I'm not calling it Pornhub or whatever that symbol is supposed to be. There was a meme where somebody like took a screenshot and she was like, and all of the tabs had X. She was like, only one of these tabs isn't porn. And that screenshot was taken in 2023. And then she screenshotted it and then she came back to it in 2024. All of these X.
I mean, it's the easiest place to find porn.
I mean, you heard
I
it
wouldn't
first.
know I'm a good Christian woman.
So I was sitting on this couch where you're sitting actually, and I was on my phone because I need to like find other hobbies, and I saw, I knew Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla were coming to town, and I didn't trip because I saw Megan Thee Stallion at One Music Fest this time last year or in September last year. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. Like, she's a wonderful performer. Wonderful performer. I think what's going to take her beyond is, of course, like a bigger set design. Mm-hmm. But for what because she is a dancer. Like, she's been a dancer all her life. So the breath control, the choreography, it's all there.
The ratio, is out of control.
Like,
The waist that.
if you don't like her, you don't like her. But she's a wonderful performer. She's funny, she brings people on stage, all that. So I was like, you know what? The girlies are going to have a good time.
Yes.
In fact, my bandmate, shout out to Fred, so he was taking his wife to see the show. I'm just scrolling, and then I see the tweet that says, hey guys, our show tonight is canceled because the water main break in Atlanta. Now, understand, there have been no previous announcements of the water main break in Atlanta. This announcement was made at 6 p.m. The show starts at 7.
Yeah.
Show starts at 7. So I quickly screenshot it because I'm like, I don't know if he's heard about this. But he's like, I'm glad you sent it to me because I literally was about to call my Uber until I opened your text.
Yeah.
So I just find that very interesting because the mayor's office did not send out a message about the water main break or about the boil notice, about any of those things until what? Almost 24 hours later. Mm-hmm. After Megan was the one that delivered the news. Now, love Megan down. Why is she the one to tell me about my city and the water issue?
Via Instagram Live.
How? Why are we finding this out from a pop star? That I'm sure the people who now mind you, I still had water this weekend. So all the folks that didn't have water, Like, they're probably like, well, what the fuck is happening? Why we gotta find out from Megan Thee Stallion why we don't have water?
It's Pride Month, and you're not providing the bottoms water to douche with?
You're not laying down pipe during Pride Month?
That's homophobic.
So of course she canceled, so she had to cancel Friday.
Yep.
She had to cancel Saturday. They ended up going through the show on Sunday, but
Yep.
I think they had to do it because they were losing so much money.
Yeah. I mean, imagine how much money they lost.
Right.
Millions.
Right.
Because it was at Mercedes-Benz, right?
State Farm.
State Farm, still.
State Farm. I mean, people still showed up, and and then the Saturday show was on Monday. I'm sure there were a lot of people that still couldn't go.
Yeah.
But it was still pretty packed out from
Yeah.
what I heard, from what I hear, what I understand. But I just wanted to shout that out because it's so interesting how, and the reason why he didn't send out, it's later find out that when the pipe burst here in Atlanta, that he was having a fundraising party for his reelection in Memphis.
Good luck to you, bitch.
Baby, I don't understand why the mayors in Atlanta just can't quite get it together. We had, what's his name, Kasim, who got in trouble for stealing money. You got Miss Bottoms. Then you got Dickens. Y'all.
It just makes me upset because it's like, and
I'm
then
gonna run for mayor.
now what's great?
Announcing my campaign right here, right now.
I vote for you. I vote for anybody. I vote for anybody because it's like it's so interesting.
Put a dog in the mayor's office.
I literally went on my way to vote for Andre, and it's like, wow. So people are without water. Pipes are older than dirt itself. The budget for Cop City went up to $120 million the same weekend.
It's giving Ted Cruz going to Cancun during the Texas snowstorm.
Like it's giving if 150,000 people have signed the petition to keep it, to even put it on the ballot at least. You can't even do that. But people don't have water. Not only did they not have water, but you didn't tell them.
This ain't Flint, Michigan.
I mean, it is now, cause now it's coming out that our water is probably not great, even though it's back on. Like we probably all need to be on a boiled water notice, like
at all times.
At all times.
Get the Brita filter.
Right. What are your thoughts? What are your additional thoughts, if you have any?
The only additional thought that I have is they were sending out text updates.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them really made me giggle in that it said, I took a screenshot of it because it sounded so fucking ludicrous. Oh, where'd it go? Oh.
Like the city sent you a text?
Yeah. It was
Okay.
like, it's all about boil water advisories, and then it was at 9:10 p.m. like Monday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it said a 30-inch pipe has successfully been lowered into the hole.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. I understand it's Pride Month.
Oh my god.
But y'all, verbiage matters.
Verbiage
Verbiage matters.
Oh, somebody at the office. I bet somebody at the office had.
This happened to Kiki.
Yeah, they just had to keep like, you know what?
30-inch pipe has been lowered into the hole.
They were like, Ensign, I don't need you to proofread that. I'm gonna just send it out. Thanks. You trust me to do my job, right?
Yeah.
So those are I could go on about this.
Atlanta
But
tings.
shout out to you, Megan Thee Stallion, for being the person to break the news because people were about to be Anita Baker fans.
Right. They was
Sitting
about to
outside
riot.
State Farm and being like, why we can't go in? If it hadn't been for her letting people know on Twitter and Instagram. Because and mind you, I may be further out distance of the city than you.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get a text.
Yeah.
I didn't get, so I'm assuming that maybe I just never needed to boil water, but at some point that I was like, they ain't even tell me, so I'm just gonna assume, like.
Legit, there were people like rafting down Peachtree in this water main break because it was so much fucking water spewing out the ground. Y'all,
I sing the duck floaty.
get it together.
Why are you? But first of all, why are you paddling in shit right now? Because
It was a white person. They don't make no sense.
In other music news.
oh, Atlanta, never change, but also please,
But please, change.
please.
In other music news, I did want to talk about Sexy Red.
Okay, what are we talking about? There's a few things with Sexy Red.
At a recent concert.
Oh, we talking about that damn hat.
The damn hat! She has
Uh,
a giant red hat on stage that says, "Make America Sexy Again." Now, I understand taking the piss out of something.
Sure.
Trying to make it a joke. But you've also, as a person, Sexy Red, openly supported Donald Trump. So for you to have the iconography of him and his campaign on your stage, people were walking out of this concert because that shit was tacky, girl.
She also
That was
went on
tacky.
made a cameo at Zach Bryan's concert. Now I don't know too much about Zach Bryan,
I don't
but
know.
apparently he's like a right wing like country singer.
Well, most country singers are white ring.
Right wing.
Yeah, and so it's not only it's like because some people are like, oh yeah, you know. Trump is gonna get us that money, which is like it's not that much money, and he was stingy.
Baby, Trump owes money
Hello,
that he can't even pay.
right? And he's on the run talking about so why they should have seen me. But now you're popping up at like these right wing like podcasts, concerts.
Girl,
You know,
you were shooting yourself in the foot before you even have a career.
and it's like
You just popped onto the radar and you already trying to pull some shit.
It's very strange. I'm not gonna lie, it's very strange.
It's Azalea Banks behavior is what it is. It's behavior that it's like, how does this make sense to you? How does this make sense that you're alienating so many people? Because this is far from a politics podcast.
Yeah.
By the way.
No, but I mean it's gotta be sad because there's some politics you can't forgive.
But I mean,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the 2016 election, when Donald Trump won, only half the country voted. So
Yeah.
a quarter of those people of this country voted for him. So there's roughly 3/4 of this country that didn't want it, and you're gonna sit here and say, "Yep, that's my boy. I fucks with him." Why? Why? Sexy Red. That's all I have to say. I don't get it.
I do enjoy, I still enjoy that one song, but I don't. There's always this constant conversation about like, oh, is she a carefree black girl or is she a buffoon? And the lot, like, I don't know that I could call myself a carefree black girl. I've had like 3 anxiety attacks this week, but but the lot, like at some point there's like what I think it's like what do we care about or what are we carefree about?
Yeah.
That where it's like where it gets dicey for me because it's like those people that are putting you on the stage don't want your best interest, and even if at least I'm getting paid, okay, but all money
Not all money is good money.
it just isn't, and there's no longevity in that. There's no longevity in that, and if it's not buffoonery now, it will be later. It always is later.
You let them shenan once,
They will.
shenan again.
So that is, and that's unfortunate. She just came out with a new mixtape. I have not listened to it, but I do know that on this mixtape she has a song with none other the BBL Drizzy, and the song on which he raps on the BBL Drizzy beat. Because he repurposes the acronym to Bad Bitches Love Drizzy.
Bye!
And he raps about how bad bitches love Drizzy because he pays for their BBLs.
I hate him. I hate him. You know what? The only person who could have that kind of name is LL Cool J.
Right.
Because ladies love Cool J.
And he let us know that before. He didn't wait until 3 weeks after being spanked for 4 days in a row to be like, well, I'm going to come out with a surprise. I'm going to do exactly what Kendrick said and come out with a song where I'm just waving my hand.
And then subsequently delete all traces and footprints of that little feud you had.
Right. All the ones
Girl.
where you talked about like, oh, you need to finish what you start. Like, okay. You know,
This is so stupid.
so the BBL Drizzy song, like it got, it was talked about for a day because there were some people who were like, oh, he floated on this track. Some people were like, yeah, he floated on the track, but it's still horrible and I'm never listening to this again.
The amount of articles that I saw that was like, Kendrick Lamar, through this feud, killed Drake's career and credibility.
So check this out. It was released today that for the first time in over a decade, this is the first week where not one song or a Drake feature is on the Billboard Top 20.
Happy Pride Month! Let's celebrate.
Happy Black Music Month!
Let's celebrate!
So for the first time, there are no Drake songs in like the top 20.
Stunning.
None.
Stunning.
Meanwhile,
Stop gaslighting mediocre rappers.
Kendrick Lamar is doing a show on Juneteenth in LA. Can't be there. Not gonna be there for the Not Like Us live. I'm really sad about that.
If he comes to Atlanta, that
I need the
concert-
Atlantans to sing that verse to the top of their lungs.
that
right now.
concert credit card that I have is getting maxed out. Cause I'm gonna be in these streets. I'm gonna be in these streets.
I need to hear Euphoria live.
I will be outside if Kendrick Lamar comes to Atlanta.
Drake had released another song that everybody was like, check this out. So I'm just laughing at this with you because, before we get to, our favorite ragdoll, we're going to stay on this ragdoll.
Shaker.
So, in the light of being accused of mimicking black music, the diaspora, and not having your own song, you have the audacity to sing in I guess maybe a Toronto Jamaican accent or just a very insanely disgusting patois accent on this song called Wagwan Delilah, where they repurpose or they cover Hey There Delilah by the Plain White Tees.
I hate that.
And they sing it and he said Wagwan Delilah and he sings in a right. Now, how terrible is it that even his own fans thought it was AI? How terrible is it that the Plain White Tees are in the video listening to the song and they're like, that's not Drake, that's gotta be AI.
No. Add that to the things we didn't need.
Oh, and so, happy Black Music Month, Drake, you're not like us. I don't know. Like,
He a fan.
So I just, it's been an interesting week. We will see what the trajectory of Drake's music looks like henceforth.
He will be fine.
He's got to take a break.
It's just like Lizzo. When that bitch comes back with an album in a year, people will eat her up again. People will love her.
But see, that's the difference between Drake and Lizzo, because Lizzo actually was like, I'm going to get out the limelight for a second. It's going to hurt.
Smart.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get out the limelight.
Right.
You are still releasing songs.
Mm-hmm. Men versus women, baby. Men versus women. Women know when it's time. Most women know when it's time to take a step back, collect their shit, leave the party for a minute. A man ain't gonna do that.
Well, I might have a counter to that.
Counter it.
So, well, because J-Lo said that she's taking a step back to focus on her family.
That meme of Ben Affleck smoking the cigarette like, ugh. So we made it to the raggediest of ragdolls. Miss Lopez. I love to hate you. I do, and it's like I don't have malice towards her, but there's just something fun about her to pick on. J-Lo just announced that her entire summer tour has been canceled because she wants to hang out with her family more. And you know what? I just saw it the other day. I think it's a HBO thing coming out where it was like they were on like videotaping the rehearsals and all this stuff, and it was like day one with J-Lo. Watch this new special.
Where it was supposed to be for a new album, and then they changed it to the best hits.
Yep.
And then
It's like retract it, y'all.
retract it.
Delete post. Get rid of it.
It's so interesting because I just think that, you know, we all found out that it was Ashanti behind the mic, and then everything just
The Brooks!
slowly.
Ashanti amongst others.
Amongst others. I let a friend listen to Natasha Ramos sing Jimmy from the Block yesterday. She was like, oh!
Yep, that is Jenny from the Block. Mm-hmm. Girl. Mm-hmm. Girl. But in other successful tour news, Cyndi Lauper announced her farewell tour.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, so she's finally hanging it up. You know what? I can't even shit on her. I got to see her probably 10 years ago, and she was, I think, in her late 50s, maybe early 60s. That old broad was climbing on the speakers.
I love that.
She was jumping around, having a good old time, and like the nostalgia was lit.
Yeah.
To hear girls just want to have fun.
I think I would have loved to hear that
time.
live. I would have loved to hear that live.
True colors. I mean, like the nostalgia was there, and so I mean, kudos to her for knowing when to bow out, and hopefully it's not a Cher thing where she's like, "And farewell, everyone," and farewell, everyone, farewell.
Actually, I have a holiday album with Tyga on it.
Girl, that holiday album was.
I liked it.
That was Boo Boo the Fool. I could not.
What? I had fun. I had fun with Cher's holiday album. I'm
The
not gonna
only
lie.
good song on that was the single. DJ play a Christmas song, I wanna be dancing all night long.
You can't make me hate Cher.
I'm not, no, you can't make, I can't, no, Cher's one of them, Cher's that girl.
Yeah.
But that Christmas album?
I liked it.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. We
like-
did not need it.
Need it? Sure. But I enjoyed it. Because I played it. We were running out of Christmas songs to listen to when we were making gumbo for Christmas.
And this was the first year, I believe, that All I Want for Christmas Is You was not the #1 Christmas song because Cher had it.
That's so interesting.
Boom! Mariah hates Cher now.
Oh, before we move,
Are you talking about Mariah's party?
No.
Mariah Carey is throwing a party, or has thrown a party, where she invited guests. And the theme for Mariah Carey's party is, I'll give you one guess,
Obsession.
Mariah Carey.
I love her.
So she invited guests to come to the party dressed as their favorite Mariah Carey.
I'm not gonna hold you. I want to do that for me. I do. That is so funny. Like, I need to see your different interpretations of Aston.
Right.
I want to know how you interpret
Which
me.
Mariah Carey would you be?
Emancipation of Mimi.
Okay, Heartbreaker.
Okay.
Heartbreaker, you got the best of me, but I just keep on coming back incessantly. Oh,
I would come in as that album cover with the gold dress.
With the gold dress.
Yeah. I love that album so much.
I mean, I just want to fight a girl in a movie theater.
What?
That's the Heartbreaker video. She's fighting a girl in a
I
movie
haven't seen it.
theater.
Okay, I gotta see it. So we'll play
You've
it.
never seen the Heartbreak? She literally fights like a dark version of herself.
Oh.
She's in like that honey blonde, and she's fighting a dark-haired version of herself over
okay,
this guy in the
yeah.
movie theater.
That's so funny.
Baby, it's very much a bringing down the house. Queen Latifah versus the blonde girl fighting in the.
Are you gonna do? Would you do like the half dark, half light?
No, I would just do the honey blonde with the crop top with the rainbow on it, the little slow.
Oh yeah.
She was so pretty in that.
Oh, if I wouldn't do the gold dress, I would do what is that? Honey, where she's it feels like honey, and she had the bandana top.
Yep.
Oh, that top was so iconic.
She just performed at LA Pride, I believe, somewhere out in California. Some Pride.
Did she have the bandana top?
No, but she did the song "Obsessed."
Yes.
Why you so obsessed with me? And how it introed was through Grindr messages. So it and then behind her it was like, hey, hi, hey, you there? And then her response was a picture of her, and it's like, why are you so obsessed with me? And then the song started, and the gaze went up.
I bet.
Baby.
I bet.
I would cry. I would just cry.
I
Imagine Mariah fucking Carey as your bride headliner.
We get the Pointer Sisters, which, no shit on the Pointer Sisters.
They're doing Pride?
They did years ago.
Oh, okay.
But we don't quite get Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
We don't get Kylie Minogue. We've had Kesha, which was cute. Last year was Iconopop, which was adorable.
Okay.
My second time seeing my Swedish sisters.
Okay.
But we won't get Mariah Carey.
We're gonna summon Kylie Minogue.
Can we hold a seance to summon Kylie Minogue to Pride?
She's not dead, so we have to find another way to get her here. She was like, before I come over there, y'all got water?
My writer.
That's a long ass flight, baby. That's a long ass flight. And Hartsfield is way too busy for me to stay
Arno! Do you have water? That's British. Why can't I do Australian?
Australian is so niche.
It's like a
I
redneck
can't really
British.
do it.
It's redneck British.
I've been watching Bluey, so I kind of have a little bit of leeway.
We'll be back! We'll be back with some music news.
Wait. More new music news because we got to do our rock and roll inductees.
Yes. Okay.
So I got it pulled up.
I'm going to pull up our guesses.
Oh, yes, please. Okay.
Because we had guesses.
Okay.
Some of them were right, some of them were not.
Okay.
So when they announced the nominees back in February,
Uh-huh.
my 5 were
Uh-huh.
Mariah Carey,
Uh-huh.
Kool and the Gang,
Uh-huh.
Sinead O'Connor, Sade, and A Tribe Called Quest. Yours, Eric B. and Rakim, Kool and the Gang, Sinead O'Connor, Sade, Ozzy Osbourne. How many of those did we get right?
All right. So number 1, Mary J. Blige.
We did not get that right.
We didn't. That's crazy.
Neither one of us picked her.
Because we really was we were really on trying to decide if we wanted to pick her. And we didn't. That's crazy.
Neither one of us picked her. Okay.
Number 2, Cher.
Neither one of us picked her.
That's insane.
Because I literally was 2 months before they did the nominees, she said, fuck the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I will never do it. I still think she should bow out. But that's just me. I would keep the whole badassery storyline through. I would just keep it through.
Number 3, the Dave Matthews Band.
Neither one of us picked that Caucasian mess.
There's 3 black members in here.
Oh, neither one of us picked that mess.
I put them in the same genre as Counting Crows. So remember if you saw Barbie and they were singing around, there was, push you around.
That's Matchbox 20.
That's Matchbox 20?
Yes.
They are all the same genre to me. So Matchbox 20, Dave Matthews Band, and fucking Counting Crows.
Counting Crows had Mr. Jones and me fill each other fairy tales and we stare at the beautiful women.
See, Counting Crows. Let me see what song I know from them.
That's
Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones.
Accidentally in Love. Now that.
Oh, from Shrek.
Yeah, I do
know
like
that.
See how I easily thought Accidentally in Love was the Matchbox 20 song. So
I thought it was Smash Mouth. Didn't they do a Shrek song?
Smash Mouth did Hey Now, You're Not
No, but they did something for Shrek.
That is Shrek 1.
No, it's not.
Somebody once told me the world
they did.
was
They
gonna-
covered a Beatles song.
You see how
Shit.
Accidentally
Okay,
in Love is
anyway.
not a Beatles song?
Let's keep going.
So,
nominees.
number 4, Foreigner,
Neither one of us.
Peter Frampton,
Neither one of us.
Cool in the Game,
2 of us. Bow, 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 bow.
Ozzy Osbourne.
You picked that. Point for
Period.
you.
Oh yes, I'm winning.
2 Aston, 1 me.
A Tribe Called Quest.
I picked them.
Oh, we're back tied.
2 and 2.
Okay, and then Music Excellence, Jimmy Buffett.
I don't think any of those were on the list.
MC5 was on the list.
No.
Which is interesting. Because yes, they were. Because I remember I was like, who is MC5? And I had to look at them. Oh, but see, they're not on this list.
No, the Music Excellence wasn't on the nominees that they announced back in February.
So what's interesting though, but I'm gonna tell you why. Because I remember looking at the Twitter list, and I remember seeing MC5 and Mary J. Blige on it.
Uh-huh.
And so Mary J. Blige, are they on this list? Oh yeah, they are.
MC5 is not. Mary J is.
So MC5, Dionne Warwick, Norman Whitfield, and then musical influence, Alexis Corner, John Mayall, and Big Mama Thornton.
Which,
And then-
stunning Big Mama.
Right.
Good for you.
Very well overdue. And then Ahmet Ertegun Award. So I have to see, I have to research the person by that name. I guess that name is for A&Rs, but the person that got that award is Suzanne de Pass. Suzanne de Pass paved the way for women in music business on the first leading female executives. So, and then they have her bio here. So yeah, so that's rock and roll.
Stunning.
That's rock and roll. So yeah, we know a little
We
bit.
were
about
2
it.
and 2.
We were 2
We
and
got 2 out of 5, or however.
It was really a toss-up though.
Also, Hall of Fame, y'all really need to stop sleeping on Mariah Carey. I realize the
Mariah's probably gonna get it from like maybe if not 5-10 years from now.
but
Maybe
I
less,
realize
but-
that the lore behind Mariah Carey is something like, oh my God, she's the one that took a bubble bath on Cribs. She's a diva. She's the that bitch writes everything.
She does.
And y'all gonna sleep on her? What it's gonna take is for her to release that unreleased 90s grunge album that she did.
What?
Mariah Carey has a like grunge rock album
Release it.
from the 90s.
Mariah, you have to release it!
She
Oh my
has been
God.
open about. She's like, I recorded an entire album. We just never released. Please
Oh no.
release it, Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey.
Nah. You
Release
gotta
it.
Release it.
Shake these hoes up. Could you imagine if Mimi came out with a rock album?
You wouldn't get me to shut up. You would not get me to shut up.
I would be an entire episode of this podcast dedicated to Mariah Carey.
Yeah, that would just be my personality for like a week.
You open the door and it's just like Mariah Carey and grunge.
I would do a grunge version of that gold dress.
Yes.
Just like with
Just
some big ass
tattered.
boots. Yeah.
Yes. That's the real emancipation.
But I can't do a grunge wig though. Wigs are just too hot. It's like no.
Not in the South. Not in the summer. That's why these church women be upset. Their
Listen.
their wigs got them hot.
Speaking of which, and I finally, this is the last piece of music news. So you saw Rihanna release the hair care line?
Yes.
Did you see the pictures?
No.
So, like, the pictures of her in the pixie cut. And people are like, so Rihanna, are you releasing a hair care line for wigs? Or are you releasing a hair care line for hair? And you got some people that are like, oh, because it's Rihanna, I trust this way more than Beyonce's. And it's like, you said Beyonce needed to show her scalp in order for you to trust the hair process. And now you are looking at Rihanna in a full-blown wig. But she might, but it might
be her hair.
It might be. It might be. Because some people are like, well, I had a pixie cut and everybody thought it was a wig. So maybe hers is also her real hair, and we just think it's a wig.
I mean, I do love that little Mia Farrow cut on her. It's very Rosemary's Baby.
It is cute. It's very mature.
It's what Tyra Banks would have referenced back in 2004.
When she made that girl cut all off her hair.
We're gonna cut your hair off and give you the Rihanna.
Child. I just remember the Rosemary's Baby episode where she was like, it's not short enough. I said to cut it as short as Rosemary's Baby.
Yep.
And that girl went home crying because it was short and blonde and crazy looking.
The image of Joni after she got her teeth filed down, looking in the camera and going, "Look at my teeth," is ingrained in my memory. I will never forget it. And then Danielle being sick as fuck posing on that elephant.
I'll always remember the tarantula photo shoot with Eva and Yaya.
Oh, where they had to hold it up to their face? Mm-hmm. Unpopular opinion, Yaya won that season.
That's not unpopular.
But this is not America's Next Top Model podcast.
That's not unpopular, but I was rooting for both of them, so I was glad.
I love Eva.
It went to the correct bottom too.
A beautiful woman.
Yeah.
But Yaya, that little...
But you know what is not an unpopular opinion?
What?
Tyra Banks will pay for her crimes.
That sounded so threatening.
Listen, you bring the BTS. Okay, we gotta go for a break for real, but
We're gonna take a break. This has been a long segment.
okay.
Tyra Banks will pay for her crimes.
Yeah, man, what the girls have to go through? Fighting teeth? That girl's scalp after a sew-in?
Oh, where it got infected?
Yeah, man.
That bitch.
Yeah.
Alright, let's knock out some recommendations. Go first.
You were stuck on Isaac Hayes.
So, after you listen to Isaac Hayes, something else, I just want to wrap up by saying to please, first of all, as a part of Black Music Month, I definitely hope that you are first following Music Sermon on Instagram, because they ask questions like, you know, like every day is a different prompt where they ask you like, what song makes you remember that all music is Black music. They're like, what song reminds you of the cookout, all those things. So if you're Black and you're not following her, please follow her. Like, she's a great music journalist and these prompts are really, really fun.
We'll put the link in the description of this episode.
Yeah. So, but I just want to remind you all, like, if you have access to like Black music documentaries, Dionne Warwick has a documentary, Grace Jones has a documentary on HBO Max. Both of them are on HBO Max. Stax is on HBO Max. I learned from watching the documentary that Otis Redding was actually the original recording artist for the song Respect. So we all know R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me, because of Aretha Franklin. But she actually covered the song and released it 2 years later. Because of that song's success, Stax was able to capitalize off of the royalties, and that was one of their big reasons why they were able to blow up. But I would say to revisit Otis Redding, even though that they are a classic act, I really invite people to look at, I feel like we're losing a sense, there's like a huge gap, right? We talked about this, where when we were growing up, we still had access to the generations of music before us. Now, even with all the access on YouTube, all the access on Spotify, all the access on all these streaming platforms, the kids are not in touch with music that came before us.
Yes.
There's like a huge disconnect. Method Man had performed at Summer Jam, and he was like, I don't want to perform at Summer Jam again because they don't know who we are.
Yeah.
And like, even when we were like, when I was still coming up, like in my 20s, I still would stick around for the Dougie Fresh segment. I was still around for Slick Rick. Method Man came after them.
Yeah.
So they would, so they would be the 20s generation Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's very much giving when Katy Perry brought Missy Elliott up on the stage during the Super Bowl.
right.
And Twitter was like, look at Katy Perry giving an artist a leg up. Introducing her to, like...
But it's also like Renee Rapp not knowing who Kylie Minogue was.
I don't know who that is.
Little Miss...
When I tell you she comes on my Spotify and I just say, nope.
The little...
You ain't getting my stream.
What about
bitch.
our new, you know, the inventor of gay pop?
Oh, JoJo's... I just today saw a clip of her at Disney World when she was drunk for her birthday.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
And she was like harassing people in a way to be like, you know my song, right?
Oh,
and they're
my
like,
God.
yeah, sing it. And then she would start saying the lyric, and it was almost like fucking Mad Libs, because she'd be like, "Karma's an adverb. No, karma's a.
Oh my God.
It's
Oh, no.
It was messy.
Not JoJo Siwa turning into Roseanne. You're too young, baby. You're too young. See? And this is why you need to look at the legends before you, because you are following their footsteps and you don't even know why.
Speak on it.
Like so I invite you to watch the way Stax no longer exists as a record company because of some fuck shit that Atlantic Records did in the 70s.
Don't they do fuck shit?
All the time. But there is a site where you can visit them in Memphis. So I'm just really encouraging folks. If y'all want me to, I think I'm gonna do that. I would just bring another black music documentary to bring next week that y'all to watch.
Let's do it.
Yeah, but that's the one, and listen to, and we'll put on the playlist both versions, but the OG version of Respect by Otis Redding, who also recorded Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, which is my other favorite song. And last thing, because I know y'all don't research, for all the kids who probably don't even know to watch the fucking Throne album. Because remember when Jay-Z and Kanye had the song Otis and it was everywhere?
I sure do.
Was it about Otis Redding?
I was
No.
old enough.
But he was, it was named after him. So all of those things connect. Black music is ever connecting. It didn't just it wasn't invented by some TikTok.
JoJo Siwa.
It sure the fuck wasn't.
JoJo Siwa invented black music.
All right, so who
So
do we need
my
to listen to?
recommendation is actually a group. I don't believe that they're actually currently still active. I was just looking through their socials, nothing really since 2021. But it's this group called Smooth Jazz All Stars. Hear me out. Before you hear smooth jazz and tune out. This group not only does original smooth jazz, just easy listening, but they also take current songs, old songs, your favorite songs, and they turn them into jazz arrangements. I found them because I told my Alexa to play He Wasn't Man Enough for Me by Toni Braxton because I wanted to pretend I had on the chain dress.
Right.
And dance in my kitchen while making breakfast.
Valid.
It's how I start my mornings. And it said, He Wasn't Man Enough for Me by Smooth Jazz All Stars. And I said, no, that's not what I asked. Wait a second. Wait a motherfucking second. And when I said, I got my entire life to that song, checked out the album. They do full albums dedicated to themes. So they did one to Adele, they did one for Ed Sheeran. The Breakup Blues album is really good. It's got a Mary J. Blige, Be Without You cover. It's got Amy Winehouse on it. It's got Adele. It's got Toni Braxton, Unbreak My Heart, and He Wasn't Man Enough for Me. Bitch. I was at the gym the other day and I was like, what am I listening to? Oh yeah, Smooth Jazz All Stars. And it was Be Without You, the smooth jazz version that got me through my final set of bicep curls. I'm over here struggling, but not struggling near as hard as Mary J was back in the day. Y'all. And I mean, it's like these people have albums on albums on albums on albums on albums.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, hours of music to listen to rifle through. You don't like Mary J. Blige? That's cool. Go check out the Adele album. You don't like Adele? Cool. Go check out this. Like I heard a cover of My Sherry Amore this morning that was like, no. So my pick for the week: Smooth Jazz All Stars.
Which song are you gonna put on the album? On the playlist?
He wasn't man enough for me. Are you kidding?
Duh. You said that.
Bitch. Because I mean, that's the song that really got me. Like, I feel like if they would have played anything else by them, I would have been like, ew, saxophone, gross. But there was something about the arrangement of that song that I was like, oh, y'all are lit as fuck. Y'all are lit as fuck. Because it's like, I imagine going to like a speakeasy. And there would be a band playing, right? And you catch the tail end of a song, you're like, okay, cute, jazz band. You sit down with your little old fashioned, and then they start playing He Wasn't Man Enough for Me. Bitch, I'm throwing my shoes. I'm throwing the chairs. I'm breaking tables. I
know that when they actually do He Wasn't Man Enough for Me live, I know wherever because I know it exists. Maybe it's somewhere probably in like the ass cracks of Atlanta they're doing that, but I know that they are.
Yeah.
If I'm ever at a club, I bet the cigar smoking uncles in their linen suits get their lives as well.
if I'm ever at a club or a bar, I don't care how nice it is, and they start playing that song, I'm breaking dishes. I'm gonna fight a man tonight. It is done for. The fate is sealed.
Why was I just like, well, as long as you just don't throw your shoes.
No, throwing shoes is a compliment.
Oh my god.
Throwing shoes is such a compliment.
It is. No, I get what you're saying. It is. I just imagine like a shoe and it's being like, smelling like shoe. And it's like flying to my face and I'm like, god damn it.
God damn it, I'm doing a good job. I gotta tone this down. I'm gonna get hit by a shoe.
All right. Well, that wraps up this week of Can't Get You Out of My Head podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Can't Get You Out of My Head podcast. You can also find us on TikTok when we use it at the same app, right?
The same
app. If you want to follow me, my name is Aston Rocks. You can find me at WHYASTINROCKS. Or where can they find you, Miss Thang?
You can find me on Grindr and Instagram at _Dylan_Michael, since it's Pride Month and all.
You were trying to get it in.
Baby, I'm trying to treat it like a postage stamp. I'm trying to lick it, stick it, and send it.
All right, and that is a wrap. Bye. Have a great night.
See everyone next week.
Lick it, stick it, send it.